right, welcome back. Now, yesterday, President Zuma announced his cabinet reshuffle. The changes saw the removal of Dr. Blade Ndzimande from his position as the Minister of Higher Education. The exclusion of Nzimande has long been a subject of speculation. In yesterday's press statement, the SACP said the reshuffle has nothing to do with strengthening the capacity of the state, but it is an attack on the SACP. Mapaila, he is the second Deputy General Secretary of the South African Communist Party, and he joins us this morning to talk about this reshuffle. And Dr. Mapaila, good morning to you and thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah, good morning to the viewers as well.
Thank you so much indeed. Was the SACP surprised by the reshuffle? I mean, the rumors have been doing the rounds for quite a time now.
Yes, particularly the manner that it was done. Again, a factional thing where you hear from his faction sending stuff in the social media that this and that will happen. And indeed, it does happen. And the fact that no appropriate consultation took place, you'll know that we participate in the elections through the ANC as the SACP. And in this case, Comrade Nzimande represents the leadership of our participation in that particular process. And when you engage with him in this manner that President Zuma did, without consulting the SACP itself, it's a clear declaration of intention to fight the SACP. It's a declaration of war. And that is why we felt that it was not done comradely, it was done factionally, irrationally, and at best even almost delusional. Particularly because no political authority he had to do this particular decision. For instance, the ANC officials, we have heard as Secretary General indicated yesterday that they were just informed. Now, that's not how the movement should function. Last time he apologized, we hear there was this big apology in the NWC after he did not consult the officials, and some of the officials went public. There was a truce to say, no, I will not do it in this way because the ANC constitution is clear about this particular matter. Yeah. But he continues to disregard even the ANC itself. So it's a man on his own, controlled somewhere, although he shouts that others are being controlled somewhere, but he is the one that is on an agenda to consolidate state capture before he leaves office.
All right, and we've seen that Dr. Nzimande was not present at the media briefing yesterday. What are his personal views when you speak to him about this matter?
Well, of course, this matter that largely affects him, so we have decided to be the one that expresses views so that they are not clouded by his own personal interest. And that's why we've also asked him not to comment on this matter for about a day or two, so we can then deal with the matter at the moment, particularly because it's still hot. In the heat of the moment, he may say things that are not necessary. But otherwise, obviously, is a surprise that without consultation, the president goes on to do things that he has done.
But was he not properly told on time?
No, we heard this in the media. When we started receiving calls from journalists, we were in a brief meeting, and thereafter there was an urgent call that needed his attention. Then he went out to receive it. That's when he was informed. But it was already in the media at that time.
And then yesterday during the press conference, you personally hailed him as someone who has contributed immensely towards the country's education. On the other side, the EFF also had a media conference, and they were saying it's good riddance. The guy has done nothing for our education system.
No, that's quite ill-informed. I think it's part of the politicking. You'll remember that actually those who have been in the education sector will know well, not just about higher education. Actually, he has been at the core of transformation of education policy. He has been at the center of championing the ANC policy unit. He was the head of the ANC policy unit itself, and they became the first chairperson of Education Portfolio Committee, which transformed education in South Africa as a whole, even when Professor Pengu was Minister of Education at the time. So, and of course, transforming the landscape of higher education as well, I think has done exceedingly well, particularly his focus on driving TVET colleges or the college sector education, which has almost collapsed in this country. It's largely due to his efforts as minister. I think we can't go into petty things around that, but at the core, they will also appreciate deep down that he has done well for the sector and want to congratulate him for his success in that regard.
But then, Dr. Mapaila, why does the SACP view this as an attack? I mean, you still have other SACP members within President Jacob Zuma's cabinet. Butima Namela was moved to the Higher Education Department, for example. You have Rob Davis, you have Tula Singlesi, and others within the cabinet. So why would you think this is an attack by the president on the SACP? Well,
Blade is the General Secretary of the SACP. And when we took a decision to send him to government, as a party, we also had a discussion with the ANC that there's an alliance arrangement here. So he's not just any other minister or member of parliament. He's a leader of an alliance partner, a strategic partner in the alliance relations. That's why if we would have contested elections on our own, he would have been number one on our list. So by really removing him without consultation with the SACP, which happened when he was to be appointed, it's a clear attack on the SACP, and I think it does affect the relations in the alliance. It will certainly take us back. We're trying to mend relations. We just had our first meeting almost as an alliance in almost 10 months for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and all of that has been reversed. But we are still committed to a functioning alliance because we think that the program to transform South Africa requires this particular alliance.
So what's going to happen next? Are you withdrawing your SACP members within his cabinet because this is an attack on the SACP?
No, not necessarily. We have convened a special meeting on Friday of the Politburo. We have extended it to all available members of the Central Committee. We'll discuss in that meeting and decide on a course of action, but we'll certainly respond appropriately.
All right, let's wait for that meeting taking place this coming Friday?
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Mapaila. Let's leave it at that. Thank you so much indeed for coming through.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, there you have it. That's Mapaila. He's the second Deputy General Secretary of the South African Communist Party, talking to us about the removal of the General Secretary of the SACP, who is also the former Minister of Higher Education and Training, Dr. Blade Ndzimande, from Cabinet yesterday. Let's take a break here on Morning Live. Your news at 7 will follow. Stay tuned.